All right, hi, let's go. Hello, lovelies. I'm here to do what is it called? 10 crafty questions. Um, Froke, I'm going to say that. I phonetically spelled it out on a piece of paper to see if I could say it. At Quiet Rebel Journals, tagged me, and I was so honored and so pleased because she's just so lovely. Oh, just go watch all of her videos. She's a dear. And that's the thing. When I see her, I'm probably not going to try to pronounce her name. Maybe like the third day or something, but I'll just call her Honey and Sweetie because she's a dear. Anywho, she tagged me to do these 10 crafty questions, so I'm going to attempt to answer them. And at the same time, because I don't know, you just don't want to watch me wave my hands around the air. I'm going to try to I made a ton of field notes, or quite a few field notes, and I have to put the little bands on them, glue the little bands on them, and put their labels on. So maybe I'm going to get that done, maybe not. I don't know. And today I have a cup of tea. I'm not saying if there's a little bit of rum in it, I'm just saying that I have a cup of tea. So, we shall start. All right, I have my questions written over here, and I don't know, I hope you can't see over here because it's a mess. What is your name? Well, my name is Bev Steves, that's the name of my channel. Beverly is my name. It wasn't always my name, or it was my name. My mother, when I was born, she named me something different, and she named me Crystal Dawn, and my father had a fit. He said, it sounds like a goddamn China pattern, so he marched wherever you march, and he changed my name to Beverly Lynn. I don't know if he told my mother, but for the first day, too, I was Crystal Dawn. So there's a little bit of inside knowledge, and I don't know. I don't think I would have made a good Crystal Dawn. But if I ever, in my 60s, become a porn star or an exotic dancer, look for me, because that'll be my stage name. It's question mark. Done. Question 2. What is your YouTube name? Same as my real name. My shop is, and my blog, I started a blog, and that is called Black Ink Papery. And I don't remember how I chose that name, quite honestly. I tried to think about this the day that it came to me, but nothing. I know that I did, this is my business card, and I know that I did purchase this image on like the rights to this image or whatever, and that was my business card. So I really love this image, and that's just the name of the shop I came up with. And so the question of the phone is also ringing right now, which we're going to ignore. What is my favorite craft? Paper craft, I guess, is my favorite craft. I also do count and cross stitch, and I also knit. And my skill level in both is, or all three, is not intricate. I only knit, I say this to people, I only knit squares and rectangles because I don't know how to turn a corner. I don't know how to make a sleeve. So I just knit shawls. I really like Gansey patterns of sweaters, the shawls. I think it's Brooklyn tweed has a lot of patterns that are very fisherman knit kind of patterns that I can follow because they're simply knit and purl. So count and cross stitch, I do a lot, or did a lot of count and cross stitch. I still do it now. I do it, I don't ever hang anything up. I just like do it, and when we get further on, it's the answer to the question. But right now it's paper. Well, for the last, I would say 10 years, 5 years, the focus has sort of been on paper and doing stuff with it because I really love paper. Question 4. Where is your favorite place to shop for craft supplies? In my closet. Because I am one of those people who has too much stuff. Well, because one, I had a store. I closed that store. So I have all of the stock from that store, and I have over the years accumulated stuff that I just need to use. I admit to being a bit of a hoarder, and I'm working on that, really making good progress on that. So I don't go to Michael's. Michael's is the closest one we have here, or the only one we have. And I don't, Michael's makes me mad because everything is very expensive. So sometimes I get the 40% coupon and go in and get like one thing or something. But I try not to go there because it just makes me mad. Number 5, what are your top 5 YouTube channels? Well, I have a lot of favorite YouTube channels. I wrote a list. I can tell you the ones that I started. I think when I started watching papercraft things, of course I found Johanna Klog, and she's like journal crack. So that was great. And I also found Essie Ruth and Caylee Gray, and I watched their videos just over. I've watched some. I can always tell a YouTube video if I'm willing to watch it more than once. It means that I'm like, yeah, this was great. And so I learned a lot watching them. I admire those 3 from my. Those are more because Essie, Ruth, and Caylee don't make. They haven't recently made a lot of YouTube videos. Sheila Toro is my probably my like my favorite, because when I first started watching her videos, they're in Spanish, and I didn't know how to work the subtitles first, so I tried to figure out what the hell she was saying, but I couldn't. Because I failed Spanish in university. So, but her style is very, like Marianne Moss and Remains of the Day, and I wasn't seeing that a lot on the internet. So it was like so beautiful, just so visual and beautiful. And of course, the Quiet Rebel Journal is like, it's like a piece of pie. It's just grand. It's like it's just entertaining. It's beautiful. It's like it has this color about it too. Sometimes I'm not just attracted to the it's like the color of that channel is very calming and pleasing, along with her voice and everything. It's beautiful. Let me see. I like My Life Mitts. I enjoy watching her videos because I like her. Even though we're not don't have the same style, I love the fact that I love the randomness of her journal pages sometimes. And Emily Pencil, OMG, I could watch Emily, I'm sure, do anything. I could listen to her tell me about cleaning her closets. I could listen to anything because she's really grand. And she lives in Japan. She has a Etsy shop, the Paper Geisha, and I bought stuff from there because I love this stuff, like vintage Japanese stuff. And she's a artist. She's an illustrator, but she also has she has videos on like planning, and she's a big planner person. But she also had these very sweet December daily videos that I just ate up. I loved them. And so yeah, I look for if she comes up in my new video, I'm all over that. And this Marina Small Arts, okay, I watch her and I don't know why. I mean, I'm fascinated with the sound of her voice. I feel like there should be some kind of drinking game every time she says, mm-hmm. I LOL. And she and I don't sort of share the same, we don't share the same artistic vision, but it doesn't mean I don't, and I can't appreciate. I love what she makes. I love watching her make it. I love listening to her talk. I love the fact that her studio is a mess. I love that. I love that it's just chaos there and her children are there. So yeah, but it's that's kind of like a rabbit hole you go down if look, I haven't glued one thing on yet. If a Sunday afternoon, it's raining, you go down that rabbit hole and then it's Monday night or something. You've just binge watched a whole bunch of those. So yeah, those are I watch other videos, and I'm sure I'm forgetting people that I watch every day, or I like Rosie's journals. I always think when I watch Rosie's journals that I'm like, oh no, that page isn't going to work out, and then it always works out. That's my funny with watching that. I'm like, no, don't do that, don't put that there, and then it's right, it's correct. She knows what she's doing. So yeah, so that's question 5. Question 6, I think, is what is my favorite color? I don't know. Sometimes I just like a color and I know I don't like neon colors. But I think anything else is fair game for me. I suddenly find myself thinking, why do I like orange so much right now? I go through a whole orange thing, and then suddenly it's like, ooh, that green looks awfully good. And so I love all kinds of colors. So what is my favorite craft tool? Well, my cinch and I are professional friends. So I use my cinch when I bind the little journals that I make, but I don't really like it. It's functional. My cinch and I don't hang out on the weekends. We don't do anything else together except do that. So even though I use it a lot, it's not my favorite. Aloha Creations. I love watching her videos too. Sorry, I forgot that one. Because in Aloha's 10 Crafty Questions, she has the same scissors that I do, which is like, yeah, that's one of my favorite craft tools, are these little cutter bee scissors. And I love them so much. And so I don't know if I have it here. Anyway, I have a brand new pair in the drawer that are not opened in case there's some worldwide shortage of these scissors. And I don't know when it would happen, but I keep, in case of emergency, break glass pair of these scissors. So I like my scissors. That's my paper cutter, my old paper cutter. This is my old Fiskars paper cutter, which is dirty, but I like it. I'd like to speak to the people of Fiskars about the price of their blades, or availability of their blades, because I think it's too much and you need to give your head a shake. Glue sticks, those are certainly my faves. And this corner punch right now, I'm in love with. I saw Emily use it on Emily's pencil, and I was like, I'm having that. And so I ordered it. It wasn't that expensive. I think around $14 maybe. The day it came, my dogs got it and chewed it, and I was so unhappy. But I'm over it. And yeah, and it has different size, so you can do the large, medium, and small, and it makes a very pleasing sound, which again, I like that. So I think that's all of my favorite crafting supplies, I think. Yeah, I mean, washi tape, all the regular things, I think. Now this is where I feel like I'm going to answer 8 through, because Floki gave an extra question, like, why do you craft, what it means to me, and I feel like 8 through 11 are pretty much all the same. I mean, like, where does your love of crafting come from? When did you first start crafting? What are your favorite crafts so far? Maybe that's a little bit different. And why do I craft? I know everybody says in their videos that or lots of people, that they learn to craft from their mothers or their grandmothers. And that did not happen with me. I'm a late crafting bloomer. I was born in a very tiny fishing village on the coast of Nova Scotia. And I had a really bizarre skill set, I guess, when I was born, because I didn't have the same, people in those kinds of places, people have a similarity, or everybody, people enjoy the same things. It's beautiful. It's a lovely rhythm if you live in a small community, and you're all connected and stuff. And I don't know, when I was born, I was like an oddball. And I'm sure if I had married and moved away, I would have become one of this eccentric old ladies that lives in a house that, is batshit crazy. But anyway, so when I was little, I had no interest in crafting. I had no interest in, I was surrounded with it. My mother, my aunts, they quilted, they knit, they embroidered, they made beautiful, beautiful things. They hooked rugs, they braided rugs, everything was so beautiful and handmade. And even the men, they'd stretch the nets out on the lawns and they'd mend them. And everywhere around me there were lots of singers, like people could sing, and I was born with none of that talent, just let me say. I was interested, my main focus when I was young was putting on a show. That was my big, I was like born a cruise ship director / I don't know. I didn't want to learn how to knit. I wanted to learn how to pretend to knit so that I could, in my plays or in whatever I was making up, having the show, that I would sit and pretend to knit. Or I would pretend to play the piano. I would pretend to do anything. So that was I was like, So, and I knew that I wasn't. So it wasn't until later that I sort of, and plus people crafted, or people made stuff for very practical purposes, which, they made things to wear. They made things that went on the bed, went on the floor. You were only considered an artist if something you made went on the wall. Like, you weren't considered artistic if you made a beautiful quilt. You were artistic if you painted a picture and someone hung it on their wall. And then people would say, she's got some talent. And but yeah, so I was fascinated because I grew up like watching people, observing them, trying to like mimic their actions so I could, reproduce them in my various things that I performed, mostly to myself, because I was also a bit I didn't want to show a whole bunch of people, that I was performing. I used to pretend to sing with the cord out of the electric frying pan in front of the drapes, and I put on performances. It just, that's what my thing was. So anyway, not until I became older did I think that, my sister, bless her heart, she taught me to knit, I think when I'm in my early 20s. And because my mother attempted to teach me to knit, and she would say, that one can't learn anything. And which was true. And I feel really bad because, I wasn't paying attention. Oh, jeez, this is getting really long. Sorry. So my sister taught me to knit and to do like, needlework. And in my 20s. So that, and I found when I did that, which leads to why do I do it, is that I found that it's very quieting for me. It's a time when I can, if I'm doing kind of cross stitch, if I'm making notebooks, if I'm doing whatever, I'm making something, but it's very quiet time. It quiets my head, it quiets my thoughts, it makes me go into sort of like a meditative, not a meditative state, because I'm probably having something on a Netflix in the background. But I'm just in a state where it's just very peaceful and joyful to sit and create something. And I realized that from watching my aunts and my mothers that, or my mother, that was probably what they were doing. I just didn't appreciate it when I was little, that they were producing all of these things as a way, it was mental health care before there was such a thing. So that's, doing a craft, doing something with your hands and is just so therapeutic. It's lovely. So I think that I have, so I don't know, and now I do love it. I don't know, I appreciated it when I was little, but I didn't do it. And what are my favorite crafts so far? I don't know. It took me a long time to learn to make something and use it myself. That was a hard lesson, still a hard lesson for me to learn, is that I like making stuff for other people. I like making stuff and selling it. I like making stuff and putting it away, I guess. But to actually use it, to make use of it, to give it to myself was a really hard lesson for me to learn. And in the last year, because I've always journaled, I've always written. I write on my blog, which is sort of like my diary. And but it took a little getting over a hump to actually make something that I would put in to use myself. And so that's probably, and this is probably the first thing I made specifically for myself. And it's kind of a failure, but I still look at it with loving, I still love it because it was, I had an idea that I was going to make a journal that was parts, like I stamped the days, that I could use it as part planner, and then I could have it, and I would have like one a month was sort of my goal, and to use the back half of it to do collage or to do art, that kind of stuff. Because I'm also a very specific person. I like to have journals for each specific person. So this is purpose. So this was my first attempt to have everything in one go. And it's not a working, because there's too many pages in it. I don't know, but I still love it because it's the first thing I ever created specifically for me to use. So yes, and since then, once I got over that hump, it was great. I could make more stuff for myself. So that is that, and I have to tag somebody, and I don't, I want to tag Emily, at Emily's Pencil, because I know that she's an artist, but I know that she also crafts, I think. So I would really love to hear her answers. And I'm going to tag Essie Ruth. Now I know Essie Ruth is gone back to school and she's really busy, and so I don't know if she would do it. And but I'm going to tag her anyway. And that's, I've really enjoyed this process of thinking. I've loved watching other people's 10 crafty questions because it's just been really entertaining. And I've also loved to follow I found some new people to follow to just by following back, like if someone leaves a comment, because I often read comments, and then if I follow a name back to their YouTube channels, I found like a couple of really cool little YouTube channels that I didn't know existed, and they're always out there. So I encourage you to keep looking, look through comments or whatever and click on people's names and see what they have, because it's beautiful. It's lovely. So yeah, and you can notice I didn't get crap done. So there you go. So that's it, and hopefully I'll have another video up soon because I've been making some stuff for my Etsy shop, and yeah, that's my goal of this week. So happy afternoon, and we'll talk to you soon.